If you enter these scary places and haunted houses, be very careful. It is never known what will stand in your way, and you may encounter the spirit of a dog, a headless human, or even a woman's face. In any case, do not go alone. A 2005 poll found that 32% of Americans believe that ghosts sometimes return from the world of the dead to the world of humans. Let's see together. Number 1, Aokigahara Forest. Known as the Suicide Forest, the Sea of Trees, and the Best Place to Die, Aokigahara is a forest located northwest of Mount Fuji in Japan. This forest, approximately 35 square kilometers, is located in western Tokyo. This forest has a history associated with demons in Japanese mythology and has become very commonplace for suicide. For this reason, Aokigahara is the second most popular place in the world for suicide. Since 1950, many Japanese business people have entered the forest, and at least 500 have not returned, and the number is growing by 10 to 20 each year. 78 in 2002, 105 in 2003, 108 in 2004, and 54 in 2010. For this reason, the police have placed signs in Japanese and English to prevent suicide throughout the forest and on the trees. The following signs are written on these boards: life is a precious gift from your parents that you should appreciate. Think about your parents, siblings, spouse, and children. Please consult the police before attempting suicide. Many tourists also visit Aokigahara due to its two caves, Ice Cave and Wind Cave. This forest is known as the Sea of Trees due to its very high density of trees. Aokigahara is unique in many ways. There is rarely any wildlife in this forest, and that is why the forest is tranquil. The proximity of nearby trees blocks out sunlight and wind, creating a dark, quiet space. On the other hand, the lack of wildlife in this forest has caused more fear and panic. Also, the compass does not work correctly in this area. So never go to this forest alone. Because the intention of suicide may come alive in you. Number 2, Mary King's Close. From the distant past to the present, when we look at history and search in its depths, we realize that various phenomena have constantly threatened human life. In history, war has been threatening, and in another period of illness and in a period of time, both. After the war, the disease was one of the factors that led to the death of many people over time, and in the past, this issue took many more victims. Because medical progress was not like today, one of these horrible diseases that fortunately has been eradicated was the plague. A disease that was terrifying because it was contagious and sometimes pushed the entire population of a city to the brink of extinction. In Edinburgh, Scotland, there is a centre where people with the dreaded disease are kept, a place called Mary King's Close. A plague is a contagious disease that has animal causes. The bacterium of this disease grows instantly in blood environments and has killed many people in the past. The condition is so deadly that the people who contracted it were killed within 36 hours. Because the plague was contagious, healthy people were forced to prevent plagued citizens from entering parts of the city, so several streets and alleys were blocked. The roads that were blocked were named after Mary King. The sick people on these streets had to die of the plague alone, in darkness and hunger. After all these years, even when you go to this area in Edinburgh, you can still smell death and suffering. You can see the effects of fire when you walk into the Mary King Dead End, and this is because, in the past, many believed that people killed by the plague could transmit the disease to healthy people. Therefore, Their bodies were cremated so that no trace would be left. Today, the Mary King Dead End is one of Edinburgh's top tourist attractions, and you can safely visit it on a trip to Scotland because no incidents or problems have been reported since 2003. Would you be interested to know why Mary King was named after her? Mary King was the name of a woman in Edinburgh who lived in the city around 1630. This woman, who had a successful life, tried very hard to save the people from the plague and was keen to keep them. That is why the area is called Mary King's Close. Number 3, the Forbidden City. The Forbidden City is not a city but a collection of palaces with thousands of rooms and buildings. At that time, no one except the king and the royal family had the right to enter this city, which was called the Forbidden City. This complex used to be the residence of 24 empires. For example, the Ming Dynasty emperors began construction in 1406, and the complex was completed in 1420. 24 Chinese emperors later ruled it. The Forbidden City of China is one of the 3 oldest palaces that still exist in modern China and is the largest historical palace in the world. Although the other 2 palaces play a very important role in Chinese history, the Forbidden City has been the seat of the monarchy for 500 years and is also one of the few well-preserved ancient Chinese monuments. But what scares us is that people see ghosts in a forbidden city. In this city, they have seen a white-haired ghost and heard the sound of music playing, which is heard from its old walls. If you travel to China to see this palace, one of the world's architectural masterpieces, pay attention to the sounds. Maybe you heard that music too,